Okay, well, I want to welcome you all. And, as Fran said, you can read about my background and creations either on my website or the stuff that's in that brown mushroom. You can just take a copy of. Um, Suffice it to say for now, just as a general context, I brought my experience with many arts, humanistic psychology, organizational development, and education into Second Life, and that was in 2004, 2007, sorry, and devised ways of doing in here what I've done all my life out there. It involves using arts-based tools and the building tools of Second Life metaphorically and symbolically for enhanced insight and new perspectives and ideas, rather than the way it's usually used here, immersively for the creation of particular products or landscapes or buildings, etc. Symbolic modeling, or SymMod for short, can be thought of as a way to capture new perceptions that you don't get by thinking or talking alone. It allows you to shift points of view, try out possibilities, connect your body-mind visceral experience sitting at the computer to your visual creative potential, and play with options for making connections between what you create, see, think, and feel. It can produce insights which are surprising and magnify understanding of yourself or a subject matter. This approach, which I combine with models from humanistic existential psychology, provides the basis for much of what I do in Second Life as a virtual educator and coach. Now, I have two basic approaches to this way of working, which we'll see examples of today. Outside in is a process of creating a build, or it could be a drawing or another art piece like a collage or photographs used in fanciful ways, without knowing what its meaning or significance is until you are guided to explore it. And today I will be providing that kind of guidance. Inside out is where you start with a feeling, thought, or area of focus and build something abstract in response to your own promptings. Through the guidance process, it's possible for you to make new discoveries about whatever your area of inquiry is. So now we're going to watch two short films. And after each one, I'll ask for a volunteer to play with me in the experience of making and exploring a SymMod. And really, you only need very basic building skills, so don't worry about that. And Fran can help you with anything you need help with. Later, Katz here, my program manager, will tell you a bit about the training sessions I do, which he has also done, by the way, to help people learn the process and how to guide with groups, with clients, with friends, etc. So we're going to start with outside in, where there's no prior choice of focus. Let's see what happens. So what I'd like to do, I'd like to invite either Fawn or Andrea to join me on one of these paths, and I'm going to do a simple little SymMod with you and outside in, where you don't even have to think about what you're symbolizing. You're just going to make a simple build, and then we're going to play with it. So I'm going to come over to this this little pad here, and hopefully either Andrea or Fawn will join me. Okay, so Andrea, I'm assuming you have some at least basic building skills. Okay, Andrea, so go to your building vocabulary where you're under build, where your the different shapes are, and start putting down something that just has some interest for you. It can be several different shapes. You can color them, hopefully, if you want to. You can make them larger or smaller. And if you have any problem with the edit program for this, you can ask Fran to help you. Oh, there you go. Okay. So now you have a square, solid square. To play, just have fun and put something, think of it as a little art project. Play with a couple of different shapes and their relation to each other, and you can color them if you wish and make them different sizes, but keep them on the pad so that we have a focal point. Of course, they can be also on the ground, in the air, on top of each other, separate from each other. These are all little decisions that you can make. Stay in touch with your body at the computer at home, because it will tell you, oh yeah, I like that, or nah, I want to change that. Okay, so your body's like a barometer that kind of helps you develop what you're seeing on the screen. And, you can take another minute or two and then just let me know when you have something that you feel for the time being is your build. Keep consulting yourself at the computer, consulting your body, mind, the connection between what you're seeing and how you're feeling about it. All right, so now your half dome is sort of has moved out of the space. Do you want it back in, or are you trying to get rid of it?
Yeah, I got rid of it.
Okay, Andrea. So walk around your object and look at it from different angles as you decide how you want this to be. Often the object has different stories to tell depending on what angle you're looking at it from. Okay, so I see now you've gone to two different objects. Is there anything else you want to put out?
No, I'm just going to keep those two objects.
Okay,
I'm going to try
to
put some color and texture.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay, check your body barometer at home and see whether the colors are what you want, whether they want to be darker, lighter, slightly different shading. See what pleases you. Okay, so the red is now more of like a orange color. Now it's back to red. Check the sizes of both of them. So you made the ball smaller. Is that how you would like it now? Ah.
Yes, I'm experimenting now with stretching.
Okay, so now you have the ball submerged in a column that's larger than it was before. The ball is smaller. Ask yourself if what you're seeing on the screen feels right to you. Now the ball's up further. We need to stop very soon with the building because of our timing. See if there's any other last minute change you want to make.
No, I will leave it as it is.
Okay.
The project is a robot, but I will manage to put some
Okay, but I
arms
don't
and
want you to
legs
give it
to
any
it.
meaning. This is the outside-in process where you're not deciding what it is that it means. It's simply two objects. All right?
Okay,
So
perfect.
I'm going to now go show you how the guiding process works. Okay, so I'm going to ask you
Great.
to tell me which of those objects you feel most drawn to right at this moment, the red ball or the green rectangle.
Well, the head, the ball is like a head.
No, just tell me which object we're going to be focusing on first.
The circle, the ball.
The ball, okay. All right, so what I would like you to do is to become the ball as though it were a character in a play that you're in and describe yourself. So you start with, I am a red, whatever you want to say about yourself as that thing without any attributing any meaning to it. Just describe what we could agree upon as objective data.
I am, you mean I need to describe what that circle
You describe yourself as that character. I am, and then say, just describe yourself as that. Something that we are all able to see or experience with you. It could be as simple as I am a red ball or a red sphere.
Oh, okay. I am the head of a robot.
No robot. We're not talking about this as a representation of a specific thing. We're simply looking at this as an abstract symbol that we're exploring for different meanings. Okay, so right now, you are a red ball, and
I'm a red ball.
yes, and you're sitting on
green
top of.
surface.
I'm a red ball, and and locate yourself. What is your relationship to the piece underneath you?
I'm on top of a green structure.
Okay, perfect. See, now we can agree, all of us agree that the description of yourself that you've just given, we can all observe that. Okay? All right, now I'd like you to be the green structure and describe yourself in the same way.
I'm like a box.
Mm-hmm.
I'm green.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a red ball on me.
Great. Now, I want you to notice, too, that your green is not uniform. That is, there are two different, depending on how you're looking at it, there are two different kinds of greens on you.
Oh, I guess it's because there is light on top of me.
Yes, okay. On the top part of me, me as a green box, I'm light. I have some light on me.
Yeah, it's a light green.
Yes, and the other parts of me are
dark green or a darker green.
Darker green, right? Okay,
because the light is not on those parts.
right. That's right. So the light is only on the top part of me. Okay.
Exactly.
Now, remember, these are like two characters in a play. If they were going to have a dialogue, what might they like to say to each other? If they, starting either place, either with yourself as the green box or yourself as the red sphere, what would you want to say to the other part or ask them, and have a little dialogue going back and forth without any prior assumptions about
Okay.
what it's about?
How do you feel, Red Ball? I feel really comfortable and safe.
Mm. Mhm.
Well, you're very heavy. Why don't you fly? Well, I have no wings. We can get some in Second Life.
Okay.
I would love to have some wings. I would like to be a bee.
Uh-huh. So wings. All right. Now we can either, I think probably either Saxofran has some wings in their inventory if you don't, that we could attach, and then you can raise that ball so that it appears to be flying. Is that something you want to do, or you want to just keep going with the dialogue?
I guess I don't have wings available.
Okay,
I
but
need to look at my inventory, which is a mess.
Okay, forget about that. Do you want to raise the ball in the air so that you're? I noticed that the green part of you said told the red ball that it was heavy, and
Yes,
and then it suggested that it have wings and fly up. So presumably it's going to lighten the load of the green box.
exactly.
So maybe you could just see what happens if you raise the red ball in the air a little bit so that it's not, yeah. And then see how what would the green say now to the, what would the dialogue be like
Wow,
now?
what happened? Where are you? I don't feel you on my top. Well,
How does that feel to you?
oh, I feel relieved.
Ah, okay. All right. And the red.
Yeah, I got some invisible wings.
Yes, okay. So the red followed the suggestion of the green that was holding it.
Yes.
How does the red feel being in the air? How do you feel as
Well,
that?
I feel weightless.
Mm,
And I feel confident now.
confident.
I can move around.
Ah, okay. So you don't feel weighted down. You feel
Yeah,
more like you've relieved
like
yourself
independent.
of some heaviness.
Yes. And feeling independent and safe
Okay. All right.
because I have my invisible wings.
Okay. All right. Great.
I sound crazy.
All right. Is there anything else that either of these want to say to each other now? And what does this have to do maybe with your state of being, how you feel, how you feel weighted down and how you feel better when you are more independent or rise
I
to the
feel I
occasion.
can try new things.
Ah,
I
uh-huh.
was just resting on you, Green Box. But how about getting invisible wings so you can fly with me?
Oh, so now you're
Oh,
suggesting to the green
I would
box
love to.
that it fly also, that it become higher, it gets higher in the space. Well, let's see what happens if you raise it off the ground.
Wow, now we are both flying.
Aha.
Let's go somewhere together.
Okay. Okay. All right. Are there any other changes that you want to make to either one of them right at this moment, or is this a good place for us to stop?
Yeah, I think it's a good place to stop. I'm going to find some wings.
Okay. Now, let's just talk a little bit about the metaphor here of being heavy and weighty as opposed to being weightless, more independent, and exploring, flying around. Um, is this something that you recognize that you want to actually do more of in your life? Is uh, to be able to take wings and fly, metaphorically?
Yes, definitely. This is
Okay.
something I'm going through these days.
Okay,
Nelly
great.
knows.
So this is your very first experience of doing a symbolic model. And how do you feel about this experience?
I feel great. I'm about to cry, but I
Do
feel
you, see,
great.
do you see why I wanted you not to get stuck on the robot idea? Because would not have allowed you to do this kind of exploring where you can actually play with your objects, find out what they want to tell you, um, have dialogues, be able to see what their relationship is, and so on.
Yeah, definitely a great experience.
Okay, great. All right, so I hope that you will do more of this. I do a symbolic modeling workshop probably once a month anyway, right here in this space. So anytime you want to come back and play some more, I would love to have you. And I want to thank you very much, Andrea, for your.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you. I will definitely come to your sessions.
well, it was totally enjoyable for me to see you making discoveries. So thank you. And now, Fran can either tell you how to link these together and put them in your inventory, take them, or you can you probably remember how to recreate them if you want to, so you can take them away. All right, so that was an example of an outside in process where the person starts from zero. That is, once we relieved her of the robot idea, and she was just dealing with the shapes. So you could see the difference. It gave her much more freedom to explore what these could say to her and what they could mean. Okay, now for the inside out, you're actually focusing either on a feeling state that you're having or an idea that you want to have more perspective about, maybe a project that you've been working on, or some kind of concept that you want to explore, you don't necessarily need to tell me what that is, but that would be what your focus would be. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and make a symbolic model of whatever it is you're focusing on, a feeling state, an idea, a decision, something that's that you would actually like to have more insight about. Even your experience in Second Life could be like a focus.
Now that I got the hang of it.
Okay, sweetheart. All right, go ahead and put down whatever objects you want, and then we'll see if you want to put colors on them. Okay, and pay attention, first of all, to what you're focusing on internally and what kind of feeling it gives you, and then where you want these objects in relation to each other. Right now, they're interspersed, they're touching each other. See if you want any other shapes down or those two are enough. You can keep it fairly simple. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. You know, sometimes when you're doing this for the first time, there are different things that you're challenged by, but we're getting the hang of it now. All right, I'll tell you the same thing that I told Andrea before. Make sure that your body at home at the computer is engaged in what you're seeing on the screen. Keep asking, does this feel like the right symbolic representation of what I'm focusing on? Are the objects the size I want them? Are they in relation to each other the way I want them? And it's very intuitive, this way of working. So you get a sense right away of whether, yes, that feels right, or no, I've got to move these further apart, closer together, or up or down, you know. Just trust that process, that intuitive process of working with yourself on what you see on the screen. Okay, so now you put a sphere inside that cylinder shape. See if you want to make any more changes here, color or size. And then let's do a little bit of guidance, because we don't really have a lot of time left. There you go. And we're going to have to work with what you've got here, okay? Okay, so you can come out of edit now. Okay, so how about describing yourself as the thing that you've just been working on? I am
a beige cone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stuck in a barrel, and I can't see the sky. Oh, sorry, no. I'm a beige cone.
Yes, that's the bottom part of you, okay? And then you've got another part that's inserted or on top.
That's right.
Describe yourself as that also.
So I'm a gray barrel.
Okay.
That is not allowing the beige cone to go through.
The beige cone that you're talking about is that half thing with the point on it? You know, it's interesting. If you walk around your build, you'll see that on the other side.
Yeah, it's not a cone.
Well, on the other side, it's not even attached to that first part, but on the side
It's
you're on.
supposed to be.
Uh-huh. But do you see what I mean? That if you look at this from different angles, you'll see a completely different thing. If I look at it from here, that half circle with a point is separate from the other two. But if I look at it from where you are, they're all connected together. So that's
What I thought.
That's a kind of interesting thing in and of itself. So we could
It's all
ask,
about perspective.
that's the perspective, right? So if I'm going to ask you a guidance question now. If this were a metaphor for whatever it is you're focusing on, are there ways that you are connected and ways that you are not connected to it? What would be the experience that you have with whatever you're focusing on of being all connected up as opposed to having part of you being disconnected? So that can be a rhetorical question. You don't necessarily have to answer it now. I just want to give people who are watching this an idea of how I would guide this, because we really don't have time to do a full guidance. So that would be one question. Another question would be, how is the blue part of me related to the gray cylinder part of me? What are they doing with and for each other? Another one might be the difference in the colors. What is it like being blue? What is it like being gray? What is it like being a neutral color? And what does that have to do, metaphorically, with the focus that I have, the thing that I'm working on? Now there's something else, which is that you're standing with your back to your object. If you turn around, that's right, and stand and look at it, what would you want to ask this object? We're going to do one go around because we just don't have time, but if you want to contact me and do more with this where you don't feel rushed, I'd be happy to do that with you. So let's just do one round here. I'm going to ask you, Apuliana, as the builder, what would you like to say, state, or ask your object? I'm asking you to ask this symbolic model that you've created about something you've been focusing on. Ask it a question that might help you get more perspective or insight about the thing you're working on. What would you like to ask the symbol?
As the cone shape, which I thought was inside the barrel, I'd like to ask if I will ever succeed in second line.
The question is, as the cone, will I ever learn SL? Will I ever get through? Okay, and now if you switch, let's just do a little physical switch here. Come around to this side, hon. So you can answer from a different space than the one you're just right in. Okay. So let's imagine that you put that question out to your build, your symbolic model. You're asking, will I ever really learn how to work in the SL environment? And then what does your symbolic model want to say back to you about that question? I'm imagining Apuliana asking the model that question. And let's see what the symbolic model has to say back to you.
It's a lot of practice. I will learn this, but I also need time, and time is my issue.
Time is your issue, but you do learn. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I will learn,
Yes.
but I need time.
Okay. And as the sim mod, I'm going to just take that voice for now. Apulian, I want to tell you that even though you're crunched for time, you will learn. Eventually, you will learn, even if it takes you time. Okay? So, okay. All right.
Thanks,
So
Andrea.
we're going to stop now because we have to. And you can either keep these objects or you can reproduce them if you want to work with them more. And let's go sit down. And Katz, I just want you to say a few little things and then see. Because we want anyone who has questions or comments to be able to make them before you leave.
First of all, I want to tell you that there is a version of SimMod called Visions of Self that is focused on yourself. And that, I believe we have a tentative date of September 14th at 1 p.m. Second Life time. Then moving on to the guidance thing, once you've done a SimMod, then you can move on to learning how to guide, which is what Marley is doing. You don't have to be a psychologist or a counselor. She teaches you how to do the kind of open-ended questions, how to help you come to your own conclusions with your symbolic model. And so that kind of training is available once you've actually done at least one SimMod yourself. If anybody wants to get in touch with me, I'm going to type in chat my email because that's the best way. Get in touch with me.
Okay. Officially, this session is over. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.